Hello, my friend. This is Faisal. I'm a certified high-performance coach, and I help entrepreneurs and professionals just like yourself live happy, fulfilled, and successful lives by raising their performance and potential in everything that they do. Whether you are an entrepreneur or a professional, you will benefit a lot from this, or you're not. You'll benefit a lot from this video because I wanted to talk about something that most people think about a lot, but they don't really have much perspective about it. Not because they don't know themselves enough, but most of our environments, the society, the culture that we live in, doesn't really focus on this aspect of our life. And whether we want to go towards success or be in a better relationship or live a more happy life overall, this is the foundation of what we do in life. And the foundation is to know yourself. We often hear this phrase or expression that people utter or say. It goes along the lines of just be yourself. And that has always begged the question for me. To be yourself, don't you have to know yourself? And that's what we're going to talk about. And I often talk about this on my Instagram and Facebook page where I do daily posts. And if you haven't liked my page, it's facebook.com or instagram.com/Faisal Insan. You can go on that. I give daily posts, informational and educational posts to help you in your daily life. I often talk about knowing yourself and also studying yourself. And I actually posted one of those posts a few days ago, and one of my viewers asked, how do I study myself? Or in other words, how do I know myself? And so we're going to tackle that question here. Now, to know yourself, we have to figure out what that means first. For most people, knowing themselves has a lot to do with where they were born, the family that they were born into, their culture, their society, their religion. And those are all great. They're all a part of our identity. And what spiritual teachers, when they talk about this, what they say is that those are your ego identities. Those are the identities given to you. Your name, your status, your social status, your work status, your cultural status, whether you're Muslim, Hindu, doctor, engineer, singer, musician, or artist of some kind. Those are all your surface identities. Now, if you want to look at it in terms of an analogy, think of an ocean. At the surface, the ocean has waves. And when you go deeper, the deeper aspect of the ocean is calm. Now, what we know about our identity is just those surface waves. Whether it's your identity related to your name or your family or your relationships or your status, anything that you were told or taught within your environment or what you become on the outside, those are all those surface waves in terms of the ocean analogy. Now, the deeper aspect of you, most people don't think about, but it is the deeper aspect of you that will connect you to all the above. So the waves that you create on the top will depend on the deeper aspect of you. The more you know the deeper aspect of you, the better you will be in terms of your life, your level of happiness, your level of religion, your level of relationships, how good you are in your relationships, your success. Everything depends on that. So let's go back to that. How do we know ourselves? How do we study ourselves? Now, we start by questioning everything. This is probably one of the most important things you're going to do in your life, is to keep an open mind. This doesn't mean that you doubt everything. There's a big difference between questioning and doubting things. Questioning things means to keep a curious mind. If you've ever seen a child or watched a child or been around a child, you'll see that they ask a lot of questions about anything. And at some point in our lives, we all kind of lose that. And why do we lose that? Probably from an incident where somebody gets angry because of your questions, or society doesn't encourage you asking too many questions, because if you ask too many questions, they're going to have to explain some things that don't make sense. Whatever the reason is, don't lose that aspect of you, because your mind was designed, or it has evolved, however you want to think about it, to be curious. And the more questions you ask, the better you will learn. And that means that whatever you're taught by your family, by your culture, by your religion, by your society, they are open to question, whether that be in terms of your happiness, your relationships, in terms of who you are. Oh, I got a friend here who's talking behind me. So in terms of who you are, and in terms of anything that you do, make sure you question why you were taught those things. And that takes us to the next step of it. What is the next step of knowing yourself? That's to increase or raise your perspective. Now, your perspective gets raised by learning things, knowledge, and by experiences. And knowledge, you can learn it from books, from lectures nowadays, from documentaries, from attending classes, from anything, going to school. You can gain that from there. That's information which you can turn into knowledge. That's another discussion. But you can also learn from other people, somebody who knows a little bit more than you in whatever field. That should still not stop you from questioning what you're being taught. Whether you read a book or you learn from a person, you must always keep a curious mind. That you need to question where it comes from, why you're taught this, and what the reason for it is. What are the benefits to you? What are the benefits of it to society? How does it help you in your life? These questions should always be a part of you. And also always be curious about the general aspect of your life. Why are you alive? Why are we here? Where are we going? What's the point of living? These are big, vague questions. My video got cut off there for a second. Now, these are big, vague questions in life you can ask, and philosophers have been asking these for centuries. There's a reason for that, because it connects us to who we are. Now, the third thing I would ask you to do is to find a way to connect with yourself. And you do that by being alone, not around other people. And you do that by meditation, by spending time in nature the way I'm doing right now, in front of a lake, on a trail, or wherever. And anything, any activity or any state of being where you're alone with yourself, with your own thoughts. Observe your thoughts. Observe how you feel. Observe the world around you. You can also do this where you are in your current environment. And never forget that you are nature. Even though we have created an artificial environment around us, within the societies that we live in, we're still part of nature. Our body's part of nature. We come out of nature. So remember to include that in your daily life. To go on a trail, to walk, to spend time with yourself alone, to read. And that takes us to the next point. You need to learn and study as much as you can. Actually, I explained that in the last point too. Now, the fourth point that I would bring into this is to connect and spend time with people who have a higher perspective or the same perspective as you. That doesn't mean that you stop connecting with other people, but you need to also be associated with people who know more than you, or curious to know more. A peer group that makes you question what you do, that makes you learn more in your life. Not just connect with people who just talk about everyday events, but they don't really ask deeper questions as to the cause of things. What did things mean? How does it affect us as human beings, as a society, as a world? These kind of people will benefit you a lot for raising your perspective. Now, number 5, I got to number 5. I'm just thinking these as I'm going. So for step number 5, what you can do is start being honest with yourself. We do a lot of things in life where we're doing it because it's an obligation, whether that be being part of a society or doing things a certain way, doing certain rituals, being with somebody in a relationship, or spending more time with somebody, or doing certain things. Oh my God, these guys are loud. I think they're telling me to shut up. So whatever it is, let me move away a little bit from here. It's getting loud. I think they're telling me to leave. Whatever it is, that I lost my train of thought there. But whatever it is that you, let me think about this. Yeah, honesty. So whatever it is that you do, make sure you're honest with yourself. Do I really want to do this? And if I want to do this, why am I doing this? Are you doing this for the right reasons because you truly want to do this? Whether that be helping somebody or connecting with someone, spending time with someone, doing something as a favor, or helping other people, or being part of a profession, your work, or other things in your life. Whatever it is, are you being honest with yourself? And if you are being honest with yourself, it'll show in your actions. You'll feel it in your actions, because if you're being honest with yourself, you will connect with it. You will feel good about it. But if you're being dishonest with yourself, for example, some people stay in relationships that they don't want to. They don't really love the person, but the only reason they're staying with that person is because they're forced by society or by their own emotions, where they feel like if I break off the relationship, I'm gonna waste all the time that I did spend there, or for whatever reason. This doesn't mean that I'm telling you to break off a relationship. You should work on your relationships, whatever they might be. But what it does mean is be honest with yourself. Are you in that relationship for the right reasons? Are you in this work for the right reasons? Are you doing whatever you're doing for the right reasons? The more honest you are, the better you will connect with yourself, the better you will know yourself. And if you follow at least the overall of this guideline, you will soon realize that you'll feel better about yourself. You'll become more confident. You'll go towards the things that make you happy. You'll connect better with people. Your relationships will get better. How do I know this? One reason, I've tried to apply much of this in my life. Second reason, I've spent quite a bit of time to study these things, and I continue to study these things from all kinds of modalities, whether it be philosophy, psychology, spirituality, sciences, ecology, related to natural systems, sciences related to natural systems, whatever it is that gives me a hint or a technique or a strategy that would help me get to know myself, the deeper aspect of myself. Now, do I know everything about myself and who I am? No, I'd be lying if I did tell you, but I have made a lot of progress. I feel confident in who I am. I feel happy with who I am. I'm at peace with myself. Much more so than I was before. And it's still a journey for me. I'm learning new things every day. And that's why I stressed on the fact that you need to start, you need to study yourself more and more. You need to learn from reading, from watching documentaries, researching. You need to spend time with yourself. You need to connect with other people that know more than you. You need to be honest with yourself. All these become a part of who you are. And you need to question the things that are around you. Don't just take people's word for things. For example, whatever you're taught within your religion or society doesn't mean it's the ultimate truth. It means it's a truth, or it's a fact, or whatever it is. It's given to you by somebody from somebody's perspective. It's your job to use your mind to come up with your own conclusions. Don't hold other people responsible for your lack of thinking. So make sure you take care of these things. So let me conclude this video for you. So number one was start questioning everything that you're taught, whether that be by your culture, religion, people around you, anything. That doesn't mean doubting everything, but it does mean to be curious to learn more before you make it a part of your life. Don't just take people's word for it. Just even if it's a book or even if it's me, start questioning it, start learning it on your own as well. Think about it. 2, study. Read books, watch lectures, watch documentaries, and learn as much as you can. Number 3, spend more time with people that know a little bit more about you, more than you, or who are curious about the world around them or themselves, or who want to learn more. Number 4, observe your thoughts, your emotions, study yourself, spend more time alone with yourself, be in nature more. and you'll learn to connect with yourself, or you can meditate more. Whatever it is that helps you connect more. Number 5, learn to become more honest with yourself. Honesty will get you closer to who you are. And I hope this video added value into your life. And if you liked the message, make sure you share this video and let me know what you think. What are your ways to study yourself more, to know yourself more? What have you learned in your life? I'd love to hear that. If you have any questions or comments, you can post it in the video below. Make sure you like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, or follow me on Facebook and Instagram. The links will be below in the information. And if you have any other video suggestions, I would love to talk about that. Until then, hope you have a great week.